Very, very.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
I think we can start now.
Yes,
It's
can we start,
past 4,
Sharadji?
so uh, can we start?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
uh,
So,
1 minute, Ranjit sir. Good afternoon to all of you. I welcome you, all of you, to this online lecture organized by the Thai Mumbai unit. I also welcome speakers Mr. Sharad Tandon, and I am sure that Mr. Tandon's vast knowledge and experience will be beneficial to all of you. I request now our President, Mr. Rajiv Ranjan, to give takeover. Thank you.
a very good afternoon to everybody, all the participants of this session. I'm sure this session will be very informative to all of you. On behalf of the Textile Association of India Mumbai unit, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to this online lecture organized by our association. Our association aims to keep its members abreast of contemporary developments related to the industry in the field of technology and other topics relevant to the industry. Thai Mumbai unit has planned to aggressively work on its industry outreach program during the year 24-25, and we will need support of all members to achieve this. As a part of this, we have conducted 3 activities already during the year. First was a hybrid lecture on the topic 5S, the first step to building a world-class organization, held on 12th April 2024 at Thai Mumbai unit office. Second was an interactive session with US Consulate General Mumbai, held on 18th April 2024 at Thai Mumbai unit office. The object of this interactive session and external training program was a value-added opportunity for officers from the US Consulate to observe, interact, and learn about textile industry and thereby facilitate a better understanding of the Mumbai and India context in which they serve. Third was an online meeting with IVL Swedish Environmental Research Institute held on 12th April. The object of this meeting was to discuss on bilateral collaboration, Indo-Sweden on innovations and research cooperation on reducing microplastics from textile industries. There was a good discussion on initiative of ZLD and sustainable wastewater management. We plan to conduct at least one program every month during the year. As a social media initiative taken by the Thai Mumbai unit, we are regularly posting news articles on LinkedIn. We request all the members to follow our LinkedIn page. Mumbai unit has also launched a WhatsApp group for the members of Thai Mumbai unit. This group helps the members to get regular updates about events, LinkedIn post link, JTA, newsletters, etc. We are privileged to have Mr. Sharad Tandon, CEO, Tandon Consulting, with us today and heartily welcome him for today's talk on the topic opportunities and threats AI poses for MSME textile units. AI refers to the ability of machines to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. This includes problem solving, learning, reasoning, and understanding natural language, from virtual assistants like Siri and Alexa to sophisticated algorithms driving self-driving cars. AI is already integrated into many aspects of our daily lives. One of the most remarkable aspects of AI is its potential to revolutionize industries. The rise of AI also brings challenges that we must address. Ethical considerations such as ensuring privacy, avoiding bias, and maintaining transparency. Moreover, the impact of AI on the workforce cannot be ignored. While AI has the potential to create new jobs and industries, it also poses a risk of job displacement. We must invest in education.
Nossa Senhora.
Can somebody switch off this person, please? Moreover, the impact of AI on the workforce cannot be ignored. While AI has the potential to create new jobs and industries, it also poses a risk of job displacement. We must invest in education and training to equip our workforce with the skills needed to thrive in an AI-driven economy. Mr. Sharad Tandon is one of India's leading textile technologists. A textile engineer by qualification from Mumbai, he has accumulated vast hands-on experience in various sizes of units. From small decentralized units to big corporates, the basic technical knowledge and clarity of concepts combined with an emphasis on making money from the business marks the difference. Use of technology rather than focus on just technology has enabled him to make commercial viability a reality in today's competitive environment. from planning turnkey projects, right from conceptualization stage to implementation and post-operative stabilization, to reorganization of business models and realizing hidden potentials within organizations, helping units to realign to the global and customer happiness and service, all this with focus and emphasis on the bottom line. He is an expert in management systems and manpower utilization with several unique modules designed and implemented for varying needs and sizes of units. Conducting training programs for owners and directors gives him the capacity to organize top to bottom comprehensive training programs. An alumni of Sasmira, he plays a leading role in the Sasmira Alumni Association. The entire team of Mumbai unit joins me in conveying sincere thanks to him for making it convenient to be with us. Mr. Tandon will share his knowledge on AI. I am sure that Mr. Tandon's in-depth knowledge and experience will be beneficial to all of you. May I request Mr. Tandon to start his talk and presentation, please.
Thank you, Rajiv Ranjanji, Harish Bhai, Parekh, and the Textile Association of India for giving me this opportunity and the honor of addressing this thing. So, first of all, I hope my audio is clear to everyone. If not, I will try to tweak this accordingly. Uh, Today, I'm going to talk about highly used, some can say buzzword, and some very seriously concerned about the aspect of artificial intelligence, as we call it. Intelligence has always been the benchmark and the differentiator between human beings and other form of living this thing. The use of how intelligence can be interpreted, analyzed, actionized has been the thing. So, what is intelligence in our understanding? Intelligence is, as described, is nothing else but the study of patterns or looking at what behavioral pattern, the reaction to that pattern, learning from that pattern approach, and then again setting actions, etc., accordingly, and then revisiting this thing. So far, we have been used to human intelligence. Artificial intelligence, as we understand, comprises many levels of what we can call it interpretative analytical behavior. The basic is machine learning, which can be said to have started when the computers were put in. From the machine learning, it has now evolved to what is said to be artificial intelligence. Now, just to understand the context, what is the difference between machine learning and artificial learning? Machine learning is nothing but we give the machine a set of data and we tell it of what happens when that data comes up with a certain pattern, what the reaction the machine is supposed to give back. So we are providing it both with the information and the answer to that information, that if this is the scenario, this is the result you gave. If this is the scenario, this is the result you gave. Machine does not sort of do any analysis on its own part. It just matches at various levels. So that's how basically the computers have operated. The concept of data still remains the same. The prominent changes that have started to happen of what is now called artificial intelligence is one, we now give it an open-ended command. We just say, look, this is this lot of data over here. Now you find some pattern and you come up with what the answers could be, or what is that pattern telling you. We don't give it any direction or any guidance as to what it is supposed to reply. The second thing is, previously the machine learning were always based on binary data, so to say 0, 1. The artificial intelligence is enhanced by its ability to capture image and subjective matters like voices and etc., and also use it for analysis. So what happens is it is now beyond human input, because previously the thing was both the inputs and the outputs were defined to the machine. If this is the case, these are the possible options, and the machines would match those options accordingly and just come up with it. Now they are being provided with the opportunity to sort of come to their own conclusions and suggest to the operator or the users. Okay, based on this data, this information, I feel these are the things that could be happening. Uh, so having understood that, why are the people so scared of? At one side, there is a lot of optimism, and it's already being used at various levels. However, there is a scare, and scare is at two levels. One is the scare of redundancy, that somehow this may take away jobs from people or replace human beings, etc., and it could collapse. And at the higher level, there is in fact the talk of the entire human being race being threatened by misuse or letting the machine do a lot of thinking. That comes from the simple reason that previously intelligence has been used both for the good and the bad. There have been very wonderful leaders who led humanity, and there have been dictators, etc., who are very, very highly intelligent but used it for the, one can say, a sort of the nefarious purposes. That a machine will not do it or will stick only to the good is the concern, because now we are letting the machine decide what is good or what is not for it to be doing. So that is, yes, definitely a threat. Then the other threat is the feeling that it is going to take away jobs or replace people and replace human beings in the workforce. Now, of course, there could always be opinions about that aspect of it. As we have previously seen, all technological major changes were felt to be a threat to mankind or the job scenario, but they in fact generated jobs more by the applications of it. Let's take the industrial revolution, where when the machines first came in, it was felt then the workers would be replaced and there would be this thing. But eventually, the mechanization of things made it so affordable, so this thing that in fact led to a spurt in employment. Similarly, when computers first came in, there was this feeling now human beings will be redundant. But then the people to use the computers grew in a category itself. So my personal opinion on AI, this thing, whether it will really threaten jobs, yes. In certain sectoral skills or certain this thing, it's already causing a lot of upheaval and likely to cause for certain particularly creative areas or very, very vastly routine kind of working. But as a overall, again, this is my personal opinion, and it's too early for me to say, and I'm not really an expert on this either. But I think this could lead to a spurt in, again, the productive output, the enhancements, finally leading to lower costs, better utilizations, better efficiency, and setting of the cycle of higher consumption by uh, many people. We'll try to cover in today's topic 5 or 6 areas where we feel this thing can sort of make a difference. So the impact, now coming to what are the likely impacts it can have on the textile industry, and finer course or going a bit deeper for the industry in basically the MSME textile industry of India. So can someone help me share the thing? I am having an issue sharing the screen. So if TI can help me and start with the first slide, please. So I'll try not to read from the slides, but what we are trying to cover is how AI will impact the textile industry and impact on MSME units that are going to be there. The yes. So moving on to the next slide, and probably the third one. What are the impacts that immediately we see of AI? Yeah.
बघा तुम्ही माझं मीटिंग चालू झाली तर मी बोलली होती ना एक सेमिनार आहे त्याच्यासाठी मी अप्लाय करत होती इथे
So, yeah, can we request to make it full screen, please, so that people can see it? Is it possible to make it full screen?
Hello, sir. It is full screen. What are you seeing on your?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a comment. Okay, okay, fine. It works for me. And anyway, I'll think. Can we just skip to the third slide, please?
Hi, Tandon ji, namaskar, Sharad ji.
Namaskar. Yeah, Naveen ji, welcome. So can we move to the third slide? The immediate this thing that we see is both there is an enabling and what we can say threat that is not at this moment so visible to the MSME textile industry, but so let's talk of the advantages that AI is going to give to the small owner. TI, can we move to the third slide, please?
Yeah, it's time. It's time,
Okay.
please. Third slide.
Rishikesh,
Yes.
move to third slide, na?
Third slide is this one. What are the potential benefits of AI? One. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, the advantages that are going to come is it will bring very close to hand certain highly technical aspects which a small young entrepreneur or owner would not have learned himself or got that deep expertise or managed to hire that level of domain experts which are required for completing a business and entrepreneurship and complete this thing. So let's presume you are a small business owner and wanting to compete with now all the bigger players. At one time, it was not possible for you to hire, say, those level of design teams or those level of people, because it was not only about you paying them money, which of course is a point.
Yeah, Tandon sir, we are not seeing the slide. I think he should
I don't know. It is
enable
not
the
moving.
enable the editing. Some yellow band is coming. Enable editing. If you do, maybe we can able to move to the next slides. Could be. This is one of the results.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Rishikesh, can you help out with this, please?
Yes. I will just share the screen.
Yeah.
Naveen sir, can you see now?
Yeah, not this
Yes.
slide, the third from the top. Can we just go back from the beginning of the presentation?
Yeah, we are seeing the slides, new slide now.
Yeah,
So
now,
maybe you can go
perfect.
from 1, 2, 3 slide.
Right, perfect. Right. So let's stick to this. Okay. As I said, I am not really going to read out from the slide. The slide is there, and I think we can always share the presentation to you later on. I will talk of the interpretation of these actions. So as I was saying, we'll streamline textile industry processes, etc. But how does that help you? What helps you is now you get a sort of level playing field. Let's talk of a MSME unit trying to run its operation vis-a-vis it trying to be work with opposite a corporate or a larger scale. Say, the things that are skill sets that are specific, very good designing capabilities, uh, very good production control, streamline inventories, etc. Uh, Good marketing. Third is, or the other one is good financial control systems, analysis of your finances, reports, etc., ratios, what will help you improve, retention of customer service, retention, checking out churn, handling HR of who are the person who are likely to stay with you, who are the persons who are likely to go away with you. So now what happens is it's been very difficult for the small owner entrepreneur to either have all the skill sets within himself or to build this kind of team, because the professional level of satisfaction that is required for this kind of team building is difficult for MSME to provide. He may provide the money, he may provide this thing, but people want to work for MNCs, want to work for recognized business houses. So now what this helps you is the entire technological background or the skill set background is now handled by this AI tools. So for example, if you want to generate a design of a school uniform or a garment or this thing, now you need not hire a team or go to thing. You just give simple commands that I want a school uniform generated. This thing. There are already many softwares who will churn out hundreds of designs within few minutes in a garment form. And you say, okay, I want it on an Indian girl, I want it on a European girl, I want it on a boy, I want it on a teenager, I want it on a man. So the person who has just studied marketing or done MBA in his finance or from a textile technical background is now suddenly able to do all the creative works and send it across to his potential buyers, maybe here, maybe abroad. Something that required huge setups and only the bigger organizations could do. So that's one advantage that we are going to have. The second advantage is in the terms of financing. Otherwise, it's very difficult. You required either a finance expert or some banker or something to tell you what your finances were looking for, or a CFO was required, and that was the edge all the bigger setups again had, because those skill come very costly. And again, people may not be willing to either work with a small setup or move to a smaller area where some of our units are now located. So again, what you now just need to do is have that data that you have got from a tele or whatever, and the AI will do all the churning for you and tell you what your ratios are, how the businesses are affected, the cash flow, and the likely things that are you could see or fail or do on this thing. And then you can do what we call as the what if analysis immediately. What if I raise my job work by 1 paisa, or what if I reduce my job work rate by 1 paisa? How my finances are going to get affected? And if I use this yarn instead of this yarn, how this thing is going to affect me commercially, all in milliseconds, thing which used to be the forte of big corporates. They had an entire team, some working on finance, some working on costing, some working on this thing. Now, all this is available to you practically free of cost. Some of them are charged, but the charges are very, very nominal and others. The most important aspect as we see it, but which is not actually very highly realized, is in terms of managing your customers or building your customer base or developing relationships which are specific to a specific customer. Now, when we go through the history of Indian textiles business growth, you could see the major of the growth and the people who are very successful in sales happened through their networking of understanding customers on an individualized basis. Because ours being an order, we don't have very standard set patterns of sales and consumer behavior which differ due to geographical reasons from one place to another very, very vastly. So here this thing comes in because it manages your customer interaction. It will tell you in a jiffy how many customers have dropped off and how many have not placed in repeat order, and when the next season will come, in what color, what this thing is he likely to buy, what is the GSMs he prefer, is there any this thing that he manages. So being able to digitally connect with your customers and give them specific specialized solutions or suggestions or reach out. So previously, if you would just send an email, I don't think even we are doing that MSME in a big way, but even if you're sending an email, it would be one email going out to everyone, apart from the name which the mail merge would manage. Now you can have an email specifically generated for that specific person, telling him about that area, how your new product is going to solve it, how it applies to that this thing. So these are the few options and possibilities, and what we say is the enabling aspect of AI that comes to MSME. So when we are talking of developing teams where units grow, and they've talked of developing teams, we have realized that dream team has 9 components or attributes or traits required. So you need a visionary aspect, you need the strategy aspect, you need the execution aspect, and you need the mentoring aspect, which are very difficult for MSME to either have in the owner-driven setup within one person, or for them also to consolidate together, because the scale of operations and the cost of each expertise was prohibitively high. And we have previously seen many MSME reaching a plateau because of this constraint, not their desire or not their risk-taking appetite. What this means now is your AI is going to be your CFO, your marketing person, your creative person, your designer, your production GM, and you can sort of just talk to them in plain English what you would have talked to the other domain expert, and it will start to give you responses and do that. So that's a major enabler as I see for the MSME industry. The problem over here, and what I see is the biggest lurking danger, which is not specific to any MSME's own decision making or operational issues, is that MSMEs are just part of a very big chain, and they are such a small at an individual level, so minuscule a part that they cannot do anything else except react to what is happening. If the exports are down, they suffer. If the exports go too high, they again suffer, because then they are not able to meet the pressure and the timelines and other things. So the threat that I am seeing at a very macro level is basically what is going to happen is the export gap, which is already there between India's export performance, which has remained flat for such a long time. And we don't really see any lines of expanding. The capacities and excess this thing is turning inwards and causing pressure on an already difficultly placed domestic market. So that 10%, 15% shift inwards is causing stress on margins, on operational efficiencies, on demand supply, and of course the financial chain as a consequence. Now, in my personal opinion, I hope it gets proved wrong. I do not see exports again rising back to the normal growth levels for the simple reason, not that we will get inefficient or we will get uh, priced out, etc. That's a different thing. But for the simple reason that other people who start to do this data analysis, start to use this operational data analysis, and then start to work upon it, will keep outpacing us, as we have seen recently in terms of garment and other this thing. It wasn't really probably our inability to meet orders, but the ability of others to do it at a better performance scale and better customer satisfaction level. Why is that? The essential thing about when it comes to AI, it can do a lot of things, but the first thing, it requires data, and it requires what we call unbiased data, which is first data that is complete, that is integrity, and it is not coming from one sectoral area only. The challenge here is all the other companies or the other countries that are progressing are either very modern or have that scale where data gathering is an essential part of their functional ability. So the data pool is already there, and they just need to apply all these, read it, analyze, and start to work faster. In India, the problem is that even if you have the tools and you acquire the tools of all this data analysis doing it, we don't have sufficient data, nor can I see any actual drive of collecting that data which has integrity, which can be analyzed. So if we don't have the data and we cannot analyze, and then we cannot improve or sharpen our performance, may in terms of inventory, may in terms of turnaround time, means in terms of customer replies or financial management, etc., etc. The other countries' gap will continue to uh, grow. So that's one major macro threat that I see, and I don't really know what MSME units in their own this thing can really help to do. The threat of jobs, etc., as we say, I don't really think that is going to happen, because as of now or in the near future, physical machine operations does not seem to be in sight or be cost effective for textile and this what we can say is certain typical operations which still will remain cost efficient. Yes, what will happen? The use of that information for monitoring, etc., is going to be this thing. So one of the major things that's going to happen, which other people will be able to adopt, and I find that is a challenge over here for, is the turnaround time of orders. The way we are still operating, the supply chain is very inefficient. The other countries have a efficient supply chain. Now the thing is going to remain is we will remain inefficient, and the other people is going to get super efficient, be able to handle volumes, etc. What we will keep lagging behind. So for example, let us say basically turnaround times, the shorter delivery times from designing a fashion garment to actually devising it is going to be, uh, I think, a major challenge. Just to give you an example of how not really doing new products or new this thing that works. We have this example of, I hope at least those who have sons and daughters have heard of Sheen as an example. So Sheen is a startup which started about 2-3 years back. Its business model is it delivers fast fashion directly to US consumers, one single parcel at a time. They found a loophole in the US customs law which said given below this value, the custom duty is not applicable. So they tied up with the UPS, the United Postal Service, and they deliver one single parcel directly from China to the US this thing. So no customs duty. They have reached a value of more than $450 billion, which is I think twice or already thrice the size of Amazon, because they sell everything at cutthroat prices. They have just sort of become an aggregator, where in China they have thousands of vendors, small scale units. These people give them the brief, they have RFD kind of fabrics. And if the order is, and so those thousands of them are constantly uploading on their page. If the design is ready, it's shipped immediately. If it is not, they generally make it in 5 to 6 days because the RFD is there, printing, etc. is done, or the dyed stock is in fabric. And they ship it across in 5 to 6 days. The main hallmark is because of this system and this efficiency, their orders are huge, and because their order are huge, so typically their pricing of Shein and what we call Temu is another example. Uh, their pricing is about half that of regular fashion suppliers. In terms of what they offer to the consumer and where we are placed, just to give you some contextual idea about the scale, they upload 1,000 products a day, new products. So with this kind of competition, with this kind of this thing coming up, I think it's going to be very difficult unless we in our own way sort of stake this. And how is 1,000 products upload, I think 1 million parcels. So typically what I understand, maybe exaggerated figure because it's hearsay, 10 aircrafts land each day in USA having Sheen products, single parcel. So now this is possible for them purely because they are totally database. The systems are automated. They simply match the entire thing. No human interface is required. And they can keep on scaling this because the system works 24/7. There is no call to anyone. There is no update on यार मेरे order का क्या status है, उसका क्या status है. Given this kind of competition where people like Amazon, this thing are also getting threatened. And the pure what apart from the business model, data driven, data analyzed, data acted upon, data shot off to the vendor, data shot off to the consumer. The vendor knows what are the trends that are coming, what are the inquiries that are coming. He can plan his or her inventory, fashion design, those fashion designs are immediately uploaded to the concerned, targeted to that particular audience or sector, or because if it's Asian, Afro-American, Latin, Asian American, the white American, this thing. I don't really know how that is India, so export front seems very difficult. The AI is in fact, according to me, going to take away a lot of business for this thing. So now coming to what we can do, what an MSME can do. As I mentioned, there are certain enablers to this thing. One is you can get creative, you can use the financial tools and edges, you can start monitoring your performances, this thing. But the first starting step for this has to be start to put in place data acquisition. It does not matter if someone is feeding in that data manually, or you're able to capture it digitally through the modern interfaces of the machines that are coming up. But what you do need, apart from the concept of having CEOs in your company and COOs or operational officers in a company, or a CFO in your company, you definitely need someone designated. We don't have to hire a specific person, but if there are 4 directors, say for example, working in a family business, one of them has to be designated what we call as a chief data officer. So what would that chief data officer would do is, first of all, have a data and artificial intelligence strategy for the business. Again, let me bring it back to the MSME. They are very fond of saying, no, it's not for us small people, it is for the big people. It is immaterial. Even if there are 3 people and 3 kind of operations, all these are standard business practices which are required. They are essentially going to be data driven, data analyzed, and it's not a question of you wanting to grow with it. You won't survive without it. So there was a survey done of all the CEOs of major companies. So the consensus of 75% was, if companies are not going to adopt this data strategy and artificial intelligence, 75% of them are going to not last beyond 2 to 3 years. So it's a matter of survival. It needs to be done. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. The other thing is, things are not at all capital intensive. So please think, if you are putting up a airjet loom that costs 40 lakhs, 10 lakhs spent on these data or data strategies or the data focus is going to make a difference between you and the others that is going to be there. How do you sort of go about it? I'll just briefly cover the basic, what we call the 6 foundational pillars. If TI can move to that slide, 6 foundational pillars of the AI strategy framework. Yes, that's right. So what it's supposed to be, first of all, you need to have the vision. You need your organization to cultivate those. The owner has to be prepared to give up certain rights. It cannot say कि मैंने फोन करके बोल दिया तो वो काम बाद में हो जाना चाहिए. मैं कंप्यूटर ऑन करता हूँ, कंप्यूटर मेरे को ऑन नहीं करता है. Then you definitely have to look at you will start with what is the cost that comes to it, both the direct cost and indirect cost. And I would also recommend and very forcefully say, for owners, directors also, please, while it's a cost of doing something, you also have to look at the cost of not doing it. So just don't think money saved is money earned, in the sense that I have not spent it, so I have earned it. you won't, because you're actually playing with your earning capacity as all the while. Yes, there is the risk. Yes, it does come with a risk because cyber security, the centralization of data, the way AI is going to interpret it, it can do a watch up job, and it's not been unknown for AI to make up stories when it has not got its own answers. So the risk of that this thing is definitely there. That has to be analyzed as part of the strategy. Then you have to start the adaptation and the review and see what are the tweaks required. The AI itself requires time to learn, analyze, work on things, and start to get fine tune its model. And that then, of course, hopefully brings the transformation in the way we run our businesses. So far run by the help of human intelligence, and now to be run by uh, what we can say assisted intelligence. I would not say artificial intelligence. I would say assisted intelligence. And now there is a new word that's also already coming in, is the augmented intelligence. So way we some ways that can ensure qualities and correlate it, can do AI powered analysis of your quality defects, the change on this thing, real time detection, corrective action, the effect of the corrective action. Now we also come to the aspect of building an organization for AI in MSMEs. Your hiring will sort of have to change, will have to tweak. You'll have to tweak them to hiring people who are good at using artificial intelligence, not having the domain expertise themselves, but being able to find the use of the intelligence that is there, the domain expertise that is there. So it's like a team leader or finding a good CEO. He himself may not be an expert in everything, but is able to lead a team, integrate a team, get the best out of every person that is there. So what you would start with is, yes, basically start with data capture, start with data analysis, find people who are already skillful at that, or train their team to start getting skillful at that. Training, again, like anything else, is going to be very essential, very advised. And I can't emphasize enough, now it's going to become even more critical, because previously a well-trained weaver versus a not so well-trained weaver could make a difference of, say, a point fractions of your percent of efficiency. Here, a well-trained operator or a well-trained this thing is going to we can easily say can make a multiple amount of difference that is going to be there. The risks that come across with it is, yes, cyber security does become a risk because the data needs to be stored somewhere. You are actually handing over large bunks of data to the system, which is sometimes at your server or at the cloud system that is there. So, but that you can sort of work it out for having proper security system, like we have for our even physical activities. We have securities, we have CC camera, and all those things. And but minor mishaps do happen, and that will be part and parcel of do this thing. So. As part of rethinking of your core strategic choices for the AI ages, is if we can, TI can just move to that slide, rethinking core strategic choices for the AI. Just keep going. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. This is the one. So, what you need to do is you need to embrace AI for revolutionary growth. So that's having a winning aspirational streak in yourself and thoughts. Where do you use it? You use it at, as it mentions, AR driven for you, particularly marketing is a major MSME. You can use it in AI driven market exploration, asking leads, searching leads, doing customer research, customer analysis, dropout rates, working work, etc., which immediately it is that it will be able to give you much better. It will give you predictions of which customer is likely to drop out, which HR person is likely to resign, if properly implemented. You can use it for product development, doing various combinations, aspirations, etc., which you otherwise would need a skill development or play around it with it, or have an intern who can just get creative on that part. The critical aspect would be to sort of get the system to be AI driven or data driven is what I would say, the intelligence and the analysis part coming on later. Then of course be ethical about it and dynamic about it. Ethical because like any information and like any analytical tool, it will throw up many aspects of things. You can sort of use it well for good being of it, or you can use it for exploitation. The choice is yours. We would recommend the ethical aspect of this thing. So in let's put it, the key takeaway, if we can just take and just go down. 8. Yeah, perfect. So AI can transform the textile industry from design to supply chain. Other countries are already doing it. Other companies are already doing it. The algorithms that we all face when we are trying to order something and the suggestions that come to us specifically are, I think we are all very aware. AI can enhance MSME textile units to be global players because now it makes all the domain skill sets so very affordable, which and acquiring them and retaining them becomes so very affordable because it's all in our control and we are not subject to so many human emotions. And of course, manufacturers to optimize, improve quality, and stay ahead. That's what we are all looking for. So I think, yes, that's from me. So we can move to question and answer session if anything is there, or if anything is, anyone would like to ask anything.
Hello, sir. Yeah, so we
Yes.
have questions in the chat. Mr.
Yeah.
Saud asks, can we call AI as a modified phase of automation?
Yes, in fact, that is the entire concept of digitization, automation, machine learning. It's a progression. Now, AI is the sort of at the moment culmination of all that. As I said, the basic difference being those things required the programmer or the inputter also to provide the likely answers, and the machine would just choose between the two. So let's say ki, for example, an airjet weaving machine which is automated to adjust its air pressure as the weft thread changes. Now currently what is input is someone tells the machine if this is happening and if the thread is not reaching in this time, please adjust the air pressure till the thread reaches in this amount of time or within this degree of the cycle. The difference is now AI would be told that we are wanting to weave this machine the best possible efficiency. You figure out whether it should increase the RPM or decrease the RPM or do the CFM reduction or increase the air pressure, etc., whatever is the best. So that is the difference. What we called supervised output, telling them what can happen and what should be the response of the machine. In unsupervised them, we are just telling them that what is happening and they figure out what should be the best possible outcome or suggestions and how to go actually about it, and they start to implement that. Then it learns from its mistakes or improvements. Okay, between X, Y, Z combination, what is working for the required thing. I hope that helps.
The next question is from Mr. Dubey.
Yeah.
He asks, Sir, sometimes we provide good quality. At that time, our cost increases. In that situation, we talk of running up some rate. Then at that time, the party rate does not increase. But if someone else provides worse quality than us and the rate is lower, then the party is there. What should we do for that so that our cost is reduced and the party also remains with us and the quality is also maintained?
So on this, I would like to draw back on the example of Sheen. See, what is good quality? The definition of quality, according to me, is meeting the aspirations or the functional requirements of the consumer. Now, it is our presumption that if we do something very, very good, or we use the best yarns, or we do this thing, so technically that quality may be very good, but it may not meet the aspirations of the consumer who may be more interested in the color or the design or this thing. So now we have to realize what the customer actually wants, provide him just that fit, because if you provide anything extra, he is not prepared to pay for it anymore. So Sheen, etc., works on that model that today's girls or today's this thing, they just want a dress which they can sort of use through, is affordable, and they find, so they have found that perfect fit of that quality definition. So theirs is adequate quality. They don't make the best fabrics in the world. They make relevant fabrics will meet the aspirational aspects of the buyer that is there, which is wanting a very low affordable fashion which they can use, sort of throw and buy something new, because of the Instagram reels they can't be seen to be repeating this thing. So while Zara may have very good fabric, but Sheen is outselling Zara 3 times today in Europe, because they have matched the quality aspirations of the construction level. I hope that answers your question. So maybe you have to tweak your business alignment accordingly.
The next question is from Mr. Lalwani. He asks, is anyone aware of some AI way to detect manufacturing defects in textiles?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're talking of mechanized inspections, etc., yes, there are already companies that have been working on it. I'm sure there are people who can help to answer that, where camera image capture does that. It does that both at the level, at least one company I know is doing it at the loom stage itself, where they install cameras and everything on the loom, and it monitors or this thing. The other aspect is of installing those cameras and analysis systems on an inspection machine. And of course, I think spinning already has some online monitoring systems that are in place. So yes, there are people who are already doing this.
The next question is from Mr. Suresh. He asks, can you highlight AI present application in textile industry with examples?
Okay. As I said already, if we talk of digitization and automation, already already there. Navinji is here, and he sells a lot of machines which have all this analysis already built in with. Say in the spinning industry, all the Euster testers, which are constantly online monitoring and communicating the quality parameter as it is being manufactured. If we look at the creative aspect of it, I personally experienced it because some school uniform wanted design portfolios for their upcoming projects, which otherwise a project that would have taken me at least 1 or 2 months, get 5, 6 designers on board, garment designers, give them a brief. They will make a flat sketch, then they will sort of filter that through, then it will be superimposed on a model, and then a photo shoot would have been done. So I just use a application called Refabric, if I'm not mistaken. I can just again check up. Just give me a second. I'll just check that. Yeah, so it's called refabric.com. And I simply give it an command key. Give me uniform ideas for with a European theme, but based for Indian boys and girls between 2 to 6 years of age, and my the color scheme should be red and blue. And within 5 minutes, I had 200 visuals coming up, and then I could just click on that and say, okay, I like this designer a bit more. Just give me more of this, and it gave me another 50 designs variations of just within that stripe and this. You can try it out. It's called refabric.com, just to give you an idea of what the capabilities are coming. So people would use it for more serious business designing. If you're in the garment, and there are similar use cases that I hope that answers your question. Yes, Manojji, that's refabric.com. And it's a software that comes at 800 rupees a month.
Okay.
So,
Sharadji, can I ask a question? Like,
yeah,
if
sure,
it's
sure,
all
Naveen.
others are been done, yeah. Of course, one thing like the sort of AI application or similar to inspection, I think very widely been used in circular knitting, where
Hmm,
I think the company called Smart Tech, they have developed the true monitoring system working on AI, finding out the
hmm,
defects, analyzing with the thousands of and millions of images they stored and comparing it and avoiding the faults. So those things
yes.
are getting quite popular as far as the AI and inspections are concerned, rather than
Hmm,
doing the postmortem immediate attention. Things are
absolutely.
being done. That's one part.
Yeah, yes.
Second, my question to you or to all
Hmm,
is that recently I heard of the new disruptive thing for particularly for the new investment is resold.
hmm,
I think the
hmm,
resold in India was basically the utensils were being given and the roadside
hmm.
people were reselling the fabric, whether it's a
Right,
shirt, pant, sari. But now
right.
in US and in
Hmm,
the other developing country,
hmm.
the resold garment by the brands like Zara, brand like other things, it started.
Yes,
Is it not
yes.
being disruptive for industry or for the makers like machines or the makers like fabric and garment that your used clothes, the clothes which are in wardrobe, will be available
Hmm.
in the market. So there won't be a new manufacturing. Do you have any highlight on this?
While I agree with you that there is a resurgence of what we call regenerative textiles, which is
No,
taking the
it's not.
same
It's
fabric.
not regenerative textile.
Yeah,
No,
in
it's
one
not
way, in the sense
regenerate.
that, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
resold.
So that, Yeah, so resold is part of regenerative textiles in the sense that they extend the life of the textiles. Instead of sending it to discard bins, it's being sold to other people for the people who are brand conscious or otherwise. But the basic core is that they want the fabric to be used for longer and longer, or the garment to be used for longer and longer. At the same time, while that is happening in one area in the sustainable field and people who are concerned about fast fashion, the reality and the fact does remain. If we look at the commercial figures, companies like Shin, who are basically moving to the opposite end of the spectrum, are actually now creating and selling
Uh,
more. So yeah, so the quantity of sales and fabric, I think yeah,
today,
yeah,
today, 130 billion dollar of
yeah,
turnover is already been done with the
hmm,
resold things. Having something on
yes,
wardrobe, keeping it for months, years,
yeah,
not using, and
yeah.
reselling that those maybe or
Yes, definitely that is something that is going on. But on the overall commerciality, whether that would affect, because we also have at the same time in
sites
this,
to buy, retail site to buy.
yeah, yeah. So a lot of things are already happening. But as I see it commercially from a very broad layman person's point of view, as against this 130 billion, this thing that has come, Shein itself is selling more than 500 billion of new fast fashion fabric, which is made every day and sold every day. So I think this requires
Yes.
a bigger macro statistics to be. So if you look at that, in fact, there is going to be more capacity and manufacturing required.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
right.
Next question is from Mr. Sawant. He asked, AI will come with machines, so machinery manufacturers should come up with their option with AI. In that case, they will hike price, unlike manual and automatic machines.
So point is, ki I think our businessmen and buyers and industrialists are smart enough. Uh, no one is going to, I think Navinji will agree, no one is going to give
First
even a
order,
single
first
paisa.
order, first order free on trial.
No one is going to give even a paisa extra
Yeah.
unless
Like,
there is some extraction of it. So if the AI does benefit, of course the machine person, but there would be some return on it. Let's presume if your quality parameters and your value loss goes down from 2% to say 1% because of online monitoring and the machine giving you AI feedback, I think it will be worth and compensated for. I think we can trust our industrialists to be smart enough for that.
Next question is from Mr. Sanjay. He asked, use of AI in optimization of water, fuel and waste management. Kindly give
Yeah.
guidelines on it.
Yeah. So starting with the AI, this thing is the first is the use of IoT, Internet of Things, as we say, to get all these monitoring systems online on real time. So water as it is flowing through your, suppose you are in a process house and using a lot of water, and the properties of the water have a downstream effect on how the performance is going to come, shade that is going to come out, etc. The wastage, there is some leakage that has started over the next 2 3 days. So all these IoTs of things will constantly sit on performance and then either send you alarms or start doing the corrective action. So in case of water purification, the dosage of the chemical that is to be added to keep that standard parameter across, etc. So this is part of machine learning, automation, and machine reaction, which also comes under subhead of artificial intelligence in a way. Now, if you have this information and the machines are already acting, the artificial can start to predict how much chemical you will actually consume in the June month of when the rain has started, or whether when the weather condition is like this, and help you order just that quantity of material, not extra, not less, So streamlining your project, that gets into the predictive analysis and the area. But that's how it's going to be. IoT of things, as we call it, the Internet of Things. The monitoring systems are constantly sitting, constantly monitoring, having a feedback loop. That data is constantly analyzed and acted up. What action should be and planning should be done ahead. Is that helpful, Sureshi? Sanjay ji, sorry.
Yes, that is helpful. I was trying to get something new which is recently developed that can be more useful for the industries to optimize the cost, because rather than cost, in next 5 years our exports will be doubled, and how we are going to tackle water, energy, and waste management situation, that is what is major issue will be faced by the industry.
Yes.
So this is what I
So
wanted
yes, so I just say the difference that is going to happen. There is no technological breakthrough that's visible or anything. And AI also is not really a technological breakthrough. It is only doing things faster and better than what were being done before. So what will happen is that all this monitoring and working will move more and more online while it is happening, and start to take corrective actions, rather than getting reports and trying to do a postmortem, and by the time the situation has changed. So the difference will come in the speed, the time point at which the interference and inspection and this thing happens, the correction happens. So it will move more online and automated.
Right. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. We also collected information, questions through our registration forms. So we have one question that says, what is the time period that the adaptation of AI will be likely major thing in the India, and like when it will be absolutely necessary, like the internet?
In India, I don't think we will able to really implement the AI, because, as I said, unpopular opinion, but we simply don't have the database and the data integrity for it to be implemented effectively. So I'm sorry if that sounds a bit disappointing, but that's my study of the MSME textile industry. So, and when you have to do it is, if you want to survive, you have to do it within the next 1.5 years. I don't think you have a longer period than that.
Any other participants have any questions?
If any more questions are there? So, Sharad, please conclude.
Yeah. So in conclusion, I would only say this is MSME has always worked as a very individual industry. I don't think there is a single organization which is going to implement this. So I just call upon the individual people to take their initiative, start the journey of digitization and data capture if you have not already done.
आपका बहन को सर पूछ लेंगे ना यूटीआर नंबर देके, वो पता चल रहा है।
Yeah, I'm sorry, I think got muted. So basically, you have to start your data journey today. As I said, try to have a strategy, try to have a plan, try to work things, but don't delay it for this thing. Second thing is, do not confuse ERP with data gathering and ERP with this thing. ERP is not essential for AI usage. Even if you are having data in your Excel sheet or any form of data, even images, even sounds, anything is there, AI is now capable of interpreting that and giving you analysis and giving you updates on a very dynamic basis and helping you predict decisions and the impact of the decisions, and you can play around, keep changing. Okay, what if my raw material changes by 5%? What if I replace this raw material? Or what if my sales price changes? What if my freight changes, etc.? So many things are it's possible for you to dynamically evaluate and pick up the best this thing. So definitely you should start the journey. Forget what will happen to exports, not happen to exports. You just do it for yourself. And as I said, it's a matter of when you do it, because if you don't do it, your neighbor is going to do it, and he will then start to have an unfair advantage over you, as I see it. Use it as a substitute for building teams of professionals for the different domain expertise, and do that. That would be my conclusion and submission. So you're muted. Harish, you're on mute.
Sorry, sir. Good evening, all of you.
Karishma, you are
Again, you're.
On behalf of TIE Mumbai unit, I convey my sincere thanks to Sharad Tandon for sharing his knowledge. I hope you must all enjoy the lecture. I am extremely grateful to Mr. Tandon for speaking his valuable time for today's lecture. On behalf of TIE Mumbai unit, I thanks all the participants. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharad.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. मीटिंग में